Hey, everybody. This week on Up Your Alley, we've got two great recommendations. First, Jake's recommendation for me, the 2025 horror comedy The Monkey. And my recommendation for Jake, the documentary Project Grizzly about inventor Troy Hurtubise and his quest to make a bear-proof suit. We're going to talk about that. We've got some video game news, and I think that's it.
That's it.
How you doing, bud?
Oh, it's been all right.
Awesome. Let's get going. Oh, it's good to be back in Jake's house.
Welcome back, buddy.
Mobile podcast recording.
My home is your home.
Oh, thanks, buddy. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the show. Speaking of welcoming people to our homes, welcome to our podcast. My name is Taylor Edgar, and with me, as always, is my best friend, Jake Baggett. Say hi, Jake.
Hi, Bobby.
It's a show where we recommend things to each other, then we come back the next week to rate them on a scale of 1 to 3 based on how much the other person's recommendation was up our alley. This week, again, Jake had me watch the new-ish horror comedy, The Monkey. That's available on streaming at the moment. And I had Jake watch the old 1996-ish documentary, Project Grizzly, available also on streaming, mainly on YouTube.
Doesn't Theo James look like James Franco?
You know what? I was thinking about that. Theo James, that's not a... So we're watching The Monkey. Theo James stars in The Monkey. He does look like James Franco. Yeah. A little bit like they wanted to cast James Franco, but James Franco has been dropped from Hollywood.
Yeah.
Weird thing. So here's a James Franco tangent, since we're just jumping in on tangents. I'm watching. I just was talking to Jake off mic about
since we're jumping in on tangents.
I guess we can.
It was you. We haven't gotten on a tangent yet.
No, you just, when I was doing the intro, you said, doesn't Theo James look like James Franco? We're not there yet, but yes, he does. So the Apple TV show, The Studio, that I mentioned last week, wrapped up.
Yeah.
Season finale's great. I was telling Jake, it's a very fun show. It's not going to be a wreck for him, but if you ever get around to watching The Studio, I highly recommend it. But Dave Franco's in it.
Yeah.
Playing Dave Franco. And Dave Franco's great.
Dave Franco's in Heat right now, too, for his movie with Alison Brie.
But they're married.
It's apparently like a fully plagiarized movie.
Oh, he's not he for his actions, like...
No, not for his actions.
Being like a sex pest.
No,
he's
for
just
something else.
He stole a movie.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, sure. Steal a movie every now and again. But I just thought it was weird because Seth Rogen and James Franco were so close for so long.
I'm sure they're still close.
I understand, but it's just like, oh, but you bring his brother into it. So I'm like, I don't know. It was just, you know, that if that show was made 5 years ago, that would have been James Franco.
James Franco is probably on set out there. Right next to him, just being like, good job, guys. Hey, guys.
I don't know. I like Dave Franco. He was good in the last season of
Dave,
Scrubs.
You should smile more in your next scene, buddy.
Did you see the last season of Scrubs with Dave Franco?
No.
I stand by it. It's a good season of television.
I couldn't really watch Scrubs. I don't think it was that funny. If Turk wasn't on screen, I didn't really care for it.
It was a great show.
I can't believe that the show didn't follow Turk. Turk was funnier, more charismatic. Mm-hmm. It just all around way more interesting than
It
JD.
followed someone who was in love with Turk.
They should have just been
Which
Turk.
is JD. Yeah, I mean, he's a bigger character in that last season.
It was the Poochie thing all over again, where if Turk wasn't on screen, I'm going, where's Turk?
That's a valid point, I guess. I can't really argue with your love for Donald Faison. But speaking of love for things and people fighting for it, have you heard, before we get into your video game news, I've been playing Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Yeah, I know Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Have you heard about its resurgence?
No.
So it's
classic one or the sequel?
The sequel that came out a couple years ago.
Okay.
That's on modern consoles.
Okay.
So in the wake of Andor, and just in like people be like, wow, we really like it when Star Wars things are good.
Yeah.
Star Wars Battlefront 2 is now hosting its largest number of players since like 2 months after its release. Everyone's just flooding back to it, and published by EA, a notoriously shitty video game company.
Yeah.
Not shitty like they make bad games, but they do, but just the way they treat their fans and the way they kind of
treat everybody other than themselves.
Other than the corporate board who cashes all the checks. So every post that they're having about anything upcoming, if it's like Madden or NHL or any of their other games, it's always like, make Star Wars Battlefront 3. All we want is Star Wars Battlefront 3. And it's like, it seems like a legit grassroots campaign to where like I downloaded it because like the EA pass is like $5.99 a month, or you could buy the game for $20. I'm like, I'll pay $5.99 a month and then cancel this immediately because I'm not going to play this game for more than a month.
I don't even know if it's worth $6.
It's worth $6. But I just wanted to dip my toes into this resurgence of the game, and it's 20v20 Clone Wars style stuff. It's fucking fun. Like, everyone's having fun with it.
Yeah.
It's really fun to see like a game like that where the fan base is just like, hey man, we want a sequel to this, so we're gonna kind of force this game back into the limelight.
Well, I enjoy the originals.
The old ones for like PS2 and Xbox.
Yes.
Yeah, those were great.
Those are fantastic. And then they remade them, they remastered them, and those were bad.
Yes.
I haven't touched them, so I don't know.
And then they released Battlefront, which was really pay to play, and then Battlefield 2
played Battlefront.
Or Battlefront 2 had a story mode, which was good.
I did not play Battlefront 2.
Battlefront 2's fun.
I'm sure it is fine.
I don't know if this is going to work,
Yeah.
but I can't think that EA doesn't because it's on Reddit, it's on like Kotaku, like they're talking about it in Video Game Press, being like, hey, they're having their most people play. And granted, when they say it's the most players, it's like 10,000 people.
They got 200 people playing today.
Yeah, it's fun. They actually filled up a whole lobby. But it's a really fun system, like, because you and I actually, in the past week, I've got you back onto Helldivers.
Yes, that was really fun.
It's a blast. In the past 3 days, the Illuminate have invaded Super Earth, so now you get to fight on Super Earth.
Oh, my God.
Dude, it's dope. I'll play with you tonight when I get home.
Okay.
But the Helldivers community has always, like, stayed pretty good. But you have your Helldiver and your loadout, and you're stuck in that for the mission. In Battlefront, you, like, start as, like, a battle droid, and then you get points for how well you do and that life, and then you just respawn. So eventually, if you collect enough points, then you get to upgrade to, like, a destroyer droid. Or eventually, if you get, like, 4,000 points, you're like, hey, you want to be Darth Maul? And it's like, yeah, that's cool as shit. And then you get to be Darth Maul. It's just a fun way to play a game. I've never played anything like it, and the community, like, the lobbies are packed. Like, it's hard to get into a lobby. Because I'm sure they have like 2 servers somewhere in a warehouse that are running the entire game for the past 10 years or however long it's been.
You're turning into an online guy.
For certain things, yeah.
Right?
I mean, I guess this is technically competitive, but it doesn't feel competitive because it's 20 versus 20.
It's going to.
It's not personal.
Yeah.
You know what I
hear
mean?
you.
Like, you're not playing against, like, it's not like when you play Tiger Woods online and you're playing against one person who beats you. This, if you get shot by somebody, you're just like, okay. And then you just respawn into another dude and you're fine with it.
You got a big team to blame if you guys lose.
Yeah, it's kind of fun. And I just think it's great. I like that the community's coming back, and I always want to see more good Star Wars things, which I enjoy. But what's the game you've been playing?
I stayed up way too late.
Did you?
Last night, playing Monster Train 2.
This is a game that you've mentioned a couple times. I have no idea what it is.
Monster Train's a very good deck builder game.
It's a fun title.
Monster Train. Guess what it is? The first one?
Monster Train?
Heaven attacks hell, and they put out the fires of hell. And now you're on a train with one of the final embers.
So Heaven was the aggressor, and you work for hell?
You're the devils that are...
Nice.
You have a train that's driving right to the heart of hell to relight the fires, and you're fighting the army of heaven while you're on their way.
Interesting. Is it like biblical style aliens or angels with
this one
7 wings and like 13 eyes and nonsense like that?
Monster Train 2. Now you're taking the offensive. You're going to heaven, and you're going to...
You're taking the battle to them.
Yeah, you're taking the battle to them.
Riding that train right through the pearly gates.
As soon as I saw that, I was like, this is so funny.
That's a blast. Are you playing it on Steam or is it on PlayStation?
I'm playing it on PlayStation right
Nice.
now. I love the first Monster Train. It's a very well-made deck builder. And then Monster Train 2 is like just better in every aspect that it could be. It's hard to explain. Yeah. Now you have abilities. Now you have equipment. All these things work together. It feels more involved with each turn.
But not overbearing?
Because, so the enemies come in on a turn, and then you set up your soldiers and your magic spells for your turn. Like Slay the Spire, but you're on a grid that you...
Like Starvaders.
You have 3 floors, and then you have your pyre up top. You're protecting
Jesus
the
Christ.
pyre.
This is so
They start on
intense
the
just
third
hearing
floor.
you.
Yeah, right?
It's so intricate.
And it goes up. I knew you wouldn't enjoy trying it.
I love the lore, though.
Yeah, it's very fun.
Yeah.
But it's a damn good deck builder. I'm
Jesus.
very happy with it.
I mean...
This year has been great for deck builders.
I think people can... kind of see the writing on the wall where if you make a good indie game, you can make a crap load of money with it.
It depends still because
Well, if you have the one that breaks through.
advertising, and that doesn't happen enough.
Yeah.
Is what I would say.
I would say mainstream, I guess, however mainstream video game press could be. On IGN, they're talking about stuff like Blueprints, which is something that I would say broke through to mainstream.
But like Local Thunk, that's like a lucky thing that somebody saw it and they saw that it was great.
Same thing with Eric Baroni and Stardew.
Yeah, I'm thinking all of these games. I'm saying there's like 100 more games that aren't getting any type of spotlight.
But you shoot for that one. It's like people doing makeup tutorials on YouTube. It's like there's a bunch of people doing it, but one person that gets through is making all the money.
And it's just sad that one person breaks through, gets all the money.
Yeah.
That's what breaks my heart is some people quit their jobs to try and make a game. And if it doesn't work, then they lose everything.
Quit their job to try to do anything themselves.
Yeah.
It's a scary proposition.
It's very scary.
Yeah.
And even if you do, like, dedicate yourself to games, there's no guarantee you're going to keep your job.
Mm-hmm.
You could either make your own game and hope it sells, or you could work for a company and hope you're not laid off.
Yeah.
Those are your choices now.
Or worst case scenario, they make you work 80 hours a week for 2 months and then lay you off right after that.
That's not even worst case scenario. That is literally like baked into the system.
Yeah.
No matter what, you're going to grind. You have to crunch.
It's kind of true.
Yeah.
So I guess there's it's the moonshot of making your own indie game, I guess.
It'd be nice. Yeah, it sounds cool that it would be like, you have your day job and you come home and you just start tinkering away at a game and then out pops something, makes you $180,000 for the year. And you're like, I could live off of this long enough to make another little game. And then you start doing little indie games. But
it's a novelist situation.
But there's like no market for that. And there's no sustainability or any help to get you to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Especially with games going the route of Grand Theft Auto 6. Yeah, buddy, I have big opinions about this.
Well, don't you think I think there's definitely a lower barrier to entry to to making games now. The fact that I have Godot and I have Unity on my computer, if I wanted to sit down and learn how to do that, I could do it myself. It's like when they made It's like when they made like camcorders more easily available so anyone can shoot a film on a digital camera, something like that.
And I think it's, especially with games, as a double-edged sword.
Okay.
Because you can make a project, but also you can buy assets, stuff that's placeholders, something that you can just put into your engine so that now the character moves. And people just buy the assets, put them all into one package, and then sell that as a game with no...
Didn't they do that with that? It was a couple years ago. There was a game called Only Up.
No, Only Up uses a bunch of assets.
Right, that's what I mean. They bought all those assets and then made the game.
But they made a game out of those assets. There's people that just buy assets, put them together with no goal or intent other than put a game on a shelf to see if somebody will buy it for $5. And we didn't move. It's called asset flips.
Yeah, it's a little slop of like they do that with
shovelware type stuff.
There's a whole bunch of like I'll get shit on like my Instagram feed where it's like, here's how you use AI to write books on Amazon Direct Publishing, and they're gonna, this is how you make $7,000 a week. And it's just like, just do a whole bunch of bullshit, type in these keywords, and ChatGPT will write it, and then you sell it to Amazon.
Ooh, I know a guy.
You know a guy who does that?
Who wrote a book with the assistance of AI.
Mm-hmm.
Published.
Wait, publish or like Kindle Direct Publishing?
Amazon Publishing.
I did one for Kindle Direct Publishing. This is just a sidebar for separate business. But it was just a nice cover, and inside it was 52 pages, and it was something my mom talked to me about. She wanted something for her Bible study group. And she's like, I would just like something like this that just looks nice. It fits in a lady's purse, and it's just a prayer list. So when you go to Bible study, you can write down the names that people talk about so you can remember to pray for them. She said she couldn't find anything that'll fit in her purse. And so I just made a blank one on Amazon. I'm like, oh, like this?
Your mom's a sweetie.
She's a sweet lady. So I made it, and it's got a little Bible verse on the front, and like a little, it cost, like I set the price to like $350. No, like $350. And she bought them for her Bible study people. Yeah. And it's just like,
I don't know how much I don't like that. I think I like that.
No, I'm saying that's the model with the Kindle Direct Publishing. It's just blank on the inside.
Yeah.
Like I didn't put AI. I'm like, tell people what who to pray for and everything like that. That's messed up.
This guy wrote like maybe 20% of a book, and
Jesus.
then he had AI finish it off to the point where they asked him like about the plot, and he was like, "Oh, I don't know about it."
Oh shit! You got to help me out here.
Your own book, and people are like talking to you about it, and you didn't even read it.
Is there gonna be, or has there been like a who was? You always know this guy's name, and I always forget it. Who's the Million Little Pieces guy?
James Frey.
Okay, yeah. Has there been that person with AI yet?
I'm sure.
That instead of just making it all up, like no, that like gets big and famous, like that guy did, and then has to crash down where this is all AI.
I don't know. I don't think so.
Is there a chance we're gonna jump the canyon on that, and we're just not gonna be able to tell, and those people are just already out there?
I don't know. It's a great question because
Yeah.
it might be there now. There's plenty of AI books right now.
So at least with that James Fry guy, you knew, like,
well, he was
it's
real,
obviously false because it's
and
justifiable.
He had a voice.
Yeah. But I'm saying for a work of fiction, I guess it'd be kind of hard to track down if it's AI or not.
Yeah.
Why doesn't George R.R. Martin just do that? Just type "Winds of Winter" into ChatGPT and just fucking write it, man. Like all that stuff's searchable enough online. It's got to be a database ChatGPT can pull from.
That poor guy.
That poor fucking guy.
I don't know if he's ever going to do it.
I would be definitely not doing it. I'd be sitting on my mansion and just at this point, they can't take the money back from you, George.
Yeah.
You can just say, instead of people hounding you, you can just be like, fuck you, I'm not writing it. I've got your money.
You have your ending.
What are you going to do?
You saw the show.
Are you going to kill me? Then you're really not going to get it. I don't feel like doing it now. Stop asking me.
Man.
I don't give a shit.
And it's just too much hype around it now.
There's no way people are going to be happy.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing with that. God, I love a good tangenty thing. I feel like we tangent more at your house because we're on a couch as opposed to the table. So there's no way that book is going to be satisfactory because he's got that one and then he's got another one. So he's got two more until the song is over.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to be so big, there's not going to be enough people that have actually read it that have an opinion. So people are going to read people's opinions and then have opinions based on that.
He's got two more to go.
Yeah, he's got Winds of Winter and then Song of Spring, I believe. I think so.
Man, that's a lot.
Yeah. Why would you just don't do it? Just say you're not going to do it. God, that'd be great.
It's crazy.
Yeah. What else was I going to say?
I'm sorry, George.
Oh, I was going to download that game, but then the PlayStation app told me I had to update, and
Yeah.
so they lost the sale.
I did that so many times when I'm hearing somebody talk about a game, and I go to the app, and I was like, I'm just going to buy it, download it on my PlayStation, and it's like,
Right now.
you need to update. I was like,
So
nope.
Tonight when we play Helldivers, remind me to do that. I did find my favorite new Instagram follow.
Huh.
I don't know if this is accurate or not, or if it's intentional or not, but I really hope it is. You know the cookware line Cambros?
No, I don't think so.
They're the big plastic containers. They've got like green tops or
Cambros.
Yeah, Cambro.
Cambro.
So their Instagram is outstanding.
Yeah.
And it's just like fun, like slightly cringy stuff, like people like, like the voiceover or like they're lip syncing with a movie clip or something like that. But it's like people in the Cambro warehouse, which has a cult following. Like I have Cambros personally at my house.
I've worked with Cambros.
They're just fantastic. But their Instagram handle is Cambro Manufacturing, Cambro MFG. But I don't know if it's supposed to be Cambro my fucking god, which, if it is fucking genius. But it's just like super cringy. And I saw it, I was like, so delightful that there are people, and I think they're working in the Cambro factory, and they're like, we're really stoked about the new, like they have forecourts. They're like, it's rounded at the bottom, but it has a square top. So it stacks better, it fits better on the shelf, but it's still rounded at the bottom. Isn't that neat? And I'm like, it fucking is, man. And they're so excited about it. So follow Cambro my fucking god. Download Monster Train 2. Hell's on the good side of history, I guess, is the lore of that game.
It's very funny.
Is it like...
No. It's just a funny idea that...
Oh, I
you
thought
are
it was
the
like
bad guys.
tongue-in-cheek style. No.
No.
All right, well, let's get into our Rex for this week. Firstly, I want to talk about mine.
Okay. Grizzly Man.
Project Grizzly. Grizzly Man's a different thing. Did you end up watching any of... have you seen that one?
No.
The Grizzly Man?
No.
It's fucking great.
Werner Herzog's movie.
Yeah, there's a great scene at the end of that
It's going
where...
to break my heart.
No, so Grizzly Man, if people don't know, is a dude that gets eaten by a grizzly bear after he thinks he's going to live with grizzly bears.
Yeah.
But there's a great scene at the end where Werner Herzog listens to the guy when he gets killed. He leaves his lens cap on.
Yeah.
but you can hear the sounds of it.
Oh,
And Werner
awful.
Herzog, who seems like one of the most disturbed people on the planet,
Yeah.
in like a weird, creepy way, he listens to it. And he's like, nobody should ever listen to this noise.
Yeah.
And he like talks to the guy's wife and be like, you need to destroy this and do not listen to it.
Good.
I'm like, oh my god, it's so terrifying.
Oh my god.
Bears are the worst. But
Bears are the best. I love them.
until you're on the wrong side of one.
Yeah, that's why I stay far, far away from them.
Fair. So this is Project Grizzly is the story of Troy Hurtubise, which I said his name wrong last week, but now I know it's Hurtubise.
Hurtubise.
He is a Canadian inventor. His from the magazine that I talked about last time, it gave a little bit more of his backstory. Canadian inventor, anthropologist, mountain man, survival expert, martial arts master. These are all his self-described things, and grizzly bear behavior specialist as well.
Yeah.
He's a man who grew up in Canada, and when he was about 20 years old, he had a confrontation with a bear that he calls the old man.
Yeah.
He calls the bear the old man because it's got a piece of patch of white on his chin.
Yeah.
And he says the bear knocks him back, and this is what he tells, and he says this in every interview. It's like his like story.
Yeah, it's been running through his head for decades
Right.
now.
But he was also alone, so nobody knows if this story is true or not.
Damn, I would believe him.
Right. He tells it all the time. I have a question for you later. But so his story is the old man knocked him down, and then he stood up after he pissed and shit himself, admittedly, pulls out 2 knives and tells the bear, "You're going to eat me, but I'm going to shove these knives up your ass."
Yeah.
And then the bear, he says, smiled and walked away.
Yeah.
So he spent his life from that point forward trying to develop a suit
Yeah.
that could withstand a bear attack so he could get closer to bears and study them.
Yeah.
Spending over $100,000 in 1990s Canadian money, whatever that is in now and here.
I want to say $500,000.
Probably. Yeah, that sounds about right. And
Remember when we were kids and we would buy books and magazines?
I have the Canadian price on the back.
Yeah, and on the front or the back, it would say like $5 US, $8 Canadian.
Yeah.
Right?
You just be like, suck it, Canada.
Yeah, every time. I'm like,
Yeah.
man, Canada needs to come down and buy from us.
I had the opposite of that because I didn't understand things when like TV would be like, it's on at 8 Eastern, 7 Pacific. I'm like,
Yeah.
man, they get, or 7 Central.
Right? You're like, they get it earlier
I'm like,
than
they get it
us.
fucking earlier. No, not knowing it's the exact same time, like on the planet. But I'm like, these kids, they get to watch it at 7
Yeah.
o'clock. That's bullshit.
They still do, though.
I know, but
It's still
everything's
bullshit.
everything's streaming now, and you can watch it whenever you want anyway. So anyway, I had Jake watch this. This was again a listener rec that gave me the story in a big old magazine, told me to watch it, and I was just like, this guy is such an interesting character. So if you just look up a picture of him, just type his last name's hard to spell, but if you just type in Project Grizzly Troy, you will see him wearing, I don't know, a beret is the hat, I believe. It's like a
Looks like
green
it.
beret
Yeah.
looking thing. Little side floppy hat. Like a military hat with a fringe leather jacket, knife, just like ready. He looks
9-inch Bowie knife.
yeah, he's got a mullet. Like he looks like a Canadian cartoon character.
And this dude is Canadian as hell.
He's one of the most Canadian people I think that's ever existed. Another thing I knew you and I would enjoy about this.
Yeah,
It's just the sheer Canadianness
I could
of
listen
him.
to him tell a story.
Yeah.
You know.
His story about the old man
Yeah.
is great.
He tells it so well.
Yeah, and in the magazine article that I read, apparently he tells that story to anyone that will listen and
Sure.
acts it out. So he acts out the story the whole way. Like he throws himself backwards
Yeah.
onto the ground. And apparently at some point he was like he wanted to be a stuntman was his original idea.
Oh, sure.
And when he was a kid, he was doing like proto jackass stuff, like throwing himself off the roof. He said his dad told stories. His dad's a character too. His dad built a replica Iroquois village.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Yeah, dope, cool, crazy dad to have. But like would tell stories that he would just to freak out the neighbors when they were coming home from like wherever they were. He would just jump off the garage and pretend to be dead just to scare the neighbors. Just he's
In
an
the movie
interesting
itself,
kid.
He talks about making a volcano in his room with gasoline
Yeah,
and just
he's a crazy person.
lighting up the house.
So I wanted you to watch this because one, I love a good documentary, and I love he's a character.
Yeah.
The way he tells his story, the question I want to get from you is: did you get and I don't mean this as an insult, but just in someone being so obsessed with their own mythology.
Yeah.
I think he's like a wholesome Canadian Billy Mitchell. The way Billy Mitchell from King of Kong and everything like that was just kind of so obsessed with himself, but it took him to a dark place. This guy, he has this mythology about his origin story from the bear, which for all we know is true.
Okay. I wouldn't compare him to Billy Mitchell.
But no, just the way that
Because
he's
Billy Mitchell's allegedly...
a liar.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, let's fucking sue us, man. We'll use the publicity. Carl Jobs can talk about us. Come and take what we don't have.
He's losing.
I know. I watched the thing.
Yeah.
Also,
Spooky.
he had an article about a thing about Lemmings, and I downloaded Lemmings for my phone. What a great fucking game Lemmings is.
Yeah, Lemmings is wonderful.
But that same energy where one event becomes your whole personality.
Yes, that's amazing.
Like he's
Yeah, I see
Project
you- I
Grizzly.
see
That's why I
on
said like he's a
Okay.
good, wholesome Billy
I see what you
Mitchell.
mean.
Where like Billy
he
Mitchell
doesn't
was
mind that this is the thing that defines him.
Yeah,
now.
he
It
like
feels like it
he
doesn't-
leans
doesn't
into it.
mind
He's like,
Yeah.
no. I am this guy.
I like that.
That people recognize me like, hey, tell him the story of you
He-
see the old man
Well,
and he gets
he
stoked
drives
about
around
it,
with the bear suit, and it's prominently displayed,
which
when
looks
he's
like
doing it.
it's a cross between an Iron Man suit that Tony Stark built in a cave with a
Yeah.
box of scraps,
Yeah,
and like a old timey deep sea diver suit
yeah,
with like the little swing window
Yep.
thing in the front.
and painted white.
Yeah, so dope.
It's wild. It's
Yeah.
wild that this movie entices you with the suit. You think that the movie is going to be about the suit,
Right.
and it's not. It quickly pivots to just talking about Troy.
Yeah.
And why he wants to make the suit, what happened to him. I would say he definitely smells his own farts, thinks he's great,
For sure.
but then he'll do something like
Be rad as hell.
throw a knife into a tree like perfectly.
Yeah.
Like it looked like a movie stunt.
Right.
How awesome it was.
How many times do you think have you ever gone axe throwing?
Yes, I've gone axe throwing.
Have
I
you
used
ever
to
hit
go over to my cousins, and we would throw throwing knives at the tree.
I've tried that so many times. I don't think I've ever gotten it to
That's
stick.
1 out of 20 we would get to
Maybe.
stick in the tree.
And this guy nails it on cue.
Yeah, and he was like, I go for these things, go for 10 for 15 feet. He's talking about, he's like, I'm not worried about the things that are walking on 4 legs. I'm worried about the things about 2 legs. They're crazy people up in these hills.
Yeah.
And then he's like,
He's one of them.
you never killed anybody, Troy. And then you just see him throw this knife into the tree. And I'm like, holy cow, that guy's ready to kill somebody.
So I think another documentary that you could kind of compare this to would be the Joe Exotic Tiger King documentary, in that it's a person that's obsessed with this one thing that nobody else is obsessed with.
Yeah.
And it's just showcasing their life. But I don't think, maybe it was because it was the Canadian Broadcasting Company that did it, or Film Canada, or whoever did it. But they weren't trying to make him look like a crazy person. They're just like,
No.
they just kind of like stood back, let it roll, and like, hey, this guy's cool. And I think at one point, like you were saying with the knife throwing, he was like, want to watch me throw this knife into that tree? They're like, you
Yeah.
can't do that. And then just first try, he nails it.
Yeah.
Like, he's a legit guy, it seems like.
What I was thinking when I was watching this movie was Troy's a doer.
Yeah.
Troy was like, I need to see a bear up close. I don't want it to kill me. I need to build a suit. He's like, I need to find out if a suit can withstand a bear attack.
He's a problem solver.
He talks to a scientist. The scientist is like, it's like getting hit by a tree, a log from this
A
height.
400-pound log
Yeah.
swung from
So
20
he's
feet in the air.
I need a suit that can withstand that. And he's like, they're like, why would you need it to withstand arrows? He's like, their claws pierce like an arrow pierces, so it's got to be able to stop that.
yeah.
I was like,
Yeah, he takes the literalness
Yeah.
as his testing block. So like what you were saying, where someone was like, oh, a bear attacking you is like getting hit by a truck going 30 kilometers an hour.
Yeah.
Instead of just taking that as a, way to just describe force, he's like,
Yeah.
okay, so I need a truck and
Yeah.
I need it to hit me at 30 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And then he does it.
Yeah.
It's the funniest thing in the world.
he's a doer, man.
I
He wants to see a bear, and I believe him.
I think
That's why I would believe his story, is because nobody is as obsessed with trying to make something like this suit.
Why
unless
would you?
something as wild as
That's
a
fair.
bear almost killing him
yeah.
happens to
It's definitely more believable than you would also get these vibes from people like, I know you don't watch this, but I watch a lot of like UFO documentaries and stuff like that. And there'll be people that have that same kind of story, not about a bear, but like, oh, and I was sucked up into the sky and all this shit, and then the aliens implanted something in me, and I'm like,
right.
All right, man. Like,
Yeah, right?
and that's what they make their life into. This guy's actually, it'd be like if that person's like, and so I spent $150,000 to make my own spaceship,
Yeah.
and now I'm going to go find
Yeah.
the fucking aliens that messed with me.
I would think,
Yeah.
I'd be like, this dude's a doer.
Yeah.
At the very least. I'd be
Getting
like,
stuff done.
This guy's like, I'm going to find out how to get to an alien, and I'm going to do it
Right.
in 2 years.
And then if a scientist said, if the aliens probed you, it'd have to be with something this big, and the guy's like, got it. Yeah. We're going to make it fit. Yeah. But I think
I created a stretcher.
those weird kind of speculum you've never seen before in your life. But I think one of the hardest I laughed in a while in a movie was the scene you were talking about where he says, it's a 400-pound log slung from 20 feet.
Yeah.
And it just cuts like old school Jackass or CKY or any of that stuff where he's just standing there in the suit and they're like, all right, cut it. And a big log just comes and hits him square in the chest and he flies backwards.
I knew I liked Troy during that because he's standing there, he's singing to himself. He's like, I'm going to let a log hit me.
Yeah.
He's like, do it. You see him get knocked on his ass.
So fucking
hard.
good. So-
It's jaw-dropping seeing him get hit by stuff.
And I think
Because
that,
it's like, that's really heavy.
and then he goes over the science of it, which I don't know science. I just think, watching it, I'm like, okay, I guess he's right because he's alive.
Yeah, I don't think he's right. What he's doing, you should follow the science, but Troy's a doer. He's
I
like,
feel like he's still he's not dead.
yeah, he's not dead.
If you
But
tell me
the
I have
reason
to,
he's not dead is because he is a mountain man. Like he's out
that's
there.
true. But he's an engineer too. If he's building this fucking suit,
What I like about this documentary is it answers the question that I had as soon as I saw the suit.
why
No.
does it work?
How are you going to walk around in the wilderness in that thing?
Spoilers. He can.
He can't.
Yeah.
Almost immediately. Well,
Yeah.
they put him on him. He has two people that have to help him balance up.
Right.
Because they're on a slight hill.
Uh-huh.
And he's like, I'm going to try and walk this direction. It immediately falls down.
Yeah.
And they tested it in mud, and he cannot move, and he starts to panic because he is
Sinking.
claustrophobic.
We've seen. Yeah, that's perfect.
The other thing is that he is claustrophobic.
So
And I
he's
believe it
overcoming his phobia.
Yeah,
because he has this job.
because of martial arts. He says that he can control his breathing, and I believe him on that.
Fucking love this
because
dude.
I don't think that he's like making up the claustrophobic thing for people to be like, oh wow, he's really good.
No,
Because
none of that comes
you
off as
see him in the mud,
aggrandizing.
and he's like, I need to get the fuck out of here. Get me the fuck out of here.
I do
I'm
the
like,
same thing.
yeah,
I wouldn't
that
even
guy's
say I'm
going crazy.
claustrophobic.
Yeah, right. Good point.
Yeah.
It's like that guy's scared, but Troy's a doer, and it
Right.
was the most. It's a 3 by all means.
100%.
It's amazing. I would love a recap of here and now.
Like a where is he now?
Yeah,
I've tried to look up some of that stuff. Yeah.
I would love to know what Troy's up to. I hope he's doing well. He seems like a very passionate guy.
Yeah.
I love. He's a storyteller through and through. He's
He's a showman.
He's a showman.
Yeah.
And he's just the amount of dedication that he has to these things.
Yeah.
It's phenomenal. I'm very happy I got to watch.
The other vibes of it I got was one of your previous recommendations that also reminded me of it was Hundreds of Beavers. Because like
Yeah.
you said, it is slapstick in the snow.
Yeah, it's pretty slapstick.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, it's,
You're watching him fall over. He's hamming it up too. He's at the drive-in
Yeah.
at RoboCop, and RoboCop's in the background playing while he's walking around. So you hear the footsteps. So it
Yeah.
sounds like he's walking around in there.
Yeah.
He goes to an abandoned, a derelict building, and he punches a wall down. And
Yeah.
the thing, he's having fun.
but he's not incompetent at this because if you gave me $100,000 and said, you have to manufacture a suit
Great point.
and then someone's going to hit you with a Toyota Tacoma,
Yeah.
not product placement, but if they want to sponsor us, it's an amazing vehicle. But then they're going to hit you with one going 30 miles an hour. You have 6 months. I would be afraid for my life. Like I have no confidence in my ability
But that dude was like,
to crunch the numbers. He's like, yeah, man.
he's like, if I want to meet a bear, I have to get hit by a truck.
For safety reasons, strap a mattress to the front of this 1,000-pound car. It's like, that's what you're worried about? God, I love it. I'm glad you loved it. As soon as I started watching this, I was like, Jake needs to, because I wanted you to have this guy in your repertoire of references. Like, hey, guy's a real fucking Troy Hurtubise over here.
I love him. Yeah, I would say that he is the archetype.
He's
that I would
welcome
follow.
on the podcast anytime.
Yeah,
Troy, if this gets
I'm
to
a
you.
big fan of you. I would love to see your suit. I'd
well-
love to see the next Mark version of your suit.
We'll do this over Zoom. Like, I'm on fucking board. This guy
But-
fucking rules.
He rules.
Oh, shit, he's dead.
No.
Fuck.
From bear?
No.
Oh.
God damn it.
Did he get to meet a bear?
His car collided with a transport truck carrying gasoline, sparking an explosion.
Oh, my God.
That's fucking terrible.
Oh, my God.
That's a bummer.
The poor guy.
Huh.
Oh, no.
I didn't read the end of that article.
No, it looks like it.
No.
Yeah, it looks like it.
It was long.
Rest in peace.
Listen.
Rest in peace, Troy.
R.I.P. Troy.
The passion that you have is infectious.
For sure.
Damn, man. Well, way to go not doing any research on
I
this.
did a bit of research.
You stopped at... So where's Troy now? D.E. I'll get to this later.
No, I put in his Wikipedia to see what he's up to now. And he
Yeah.
died in 2018.
Damn.
That's a bummer.
2018.
R.I.P.
Man.
Troy. A real Canadian hero.
I would have loved to have seen
You know
one
what's
more
funny
documentary
is
of that guy.
the person who recommended this to me was listening to that whole time where I was saying, I want to know what he's up to now. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And is mad at me that I didn't read that article all the way.
Yeah.
That probably says that he died.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Man, I should have taken that magazine from you.
You really should have. Live and learn. All right, let's move on to Jake's recommendation for me, the 2025 film, The Monkey,
Yeah.
based on the short story by Stephen King of the same name.
Yes.
Jake, why'd you recommend this to me? You know I hate horror movies.
I like these movies, though. And it's not like Long Legs.
What do you mean these movies?
Horror movies.
Oh, horror movies. I don't think this is a horror movie.
It's not a horror movie.
No.
I wouldn't. I would call it a horror movie in the sense that it is horrific. And
It's a
like
violent
its
movie.
depictions.
It's a gory
Yeah.
movie.
But it's by all means a comedy.
It's so
straight
fucking.
up comedy.
It's so fucking funny. I'll get
It's
this out of the
funny.
way right now.
Yeah.
Love this movie.
Hell yeah, dude.
God
I
damn
loved
it was
too.
good.
It was very good.
good.
I was enamored with Long Legs. I thought that was a work of art.
Was that Osgood Perkins, the writer director of this? Was that his first movie?
Yes, I
Long
believe
Legs
so.
was.
Mhm.
Okay.
And I was like, whatever Osgood, he developed enough good faith for me that I would watch his next movie.
Yeah.
I just never got around to it. This podcast is a great way to get me motivated to do things that I want to do,
Yeah.
which is watch this movie. And so I did. And I made you watch it too so we could talk about it.
Yeah. Apparently he did something in 2015 called Black Coat's Daughter.
Oh, yeah, and he directed...
and Gretel and Hansel. And he
yes,
did one episode
yes,
of
never mind.
the Jordan Peele Twilight Zone.
Yes, I do remember
But I
that.
think Long Legs was his breakthrough.
Yes.
So, yeah. So
Long Legs is a horror movie, as scary, and I thought it was great.
don't
Love
like
it.
those. Don't like those.
And I figured you wouldn't, but then this movie was being sold to me as straight up comedy.
Yeah.
I was like, Taylor can handle that.
This movie
Let's do
is less scary than Companion, which was a funny movie. Like,
yeah, this movie wasn't scary.
it's a graphic
But
comedy.
this movie is very, very graphic.
Yeah.
James Wan really, I remember because James Wan did Saw,
Right.
and I remember in an interview during that time, he was like, I really don't have a thing for making bloody movies. I don't really want to do that.
Yeah.
And then he didn't do that for a long time, and then he made Malignant, which is a very, like, that
No idea.
movie is gory in a way that it's like, you're
Uncomfortable?
like overcompensating. Like, you don't understand the type of gore that you need to make. And then he makes this movie, and I was like, now you get it. Now you understand the type of gore that you want to make.
This dude, Osgood Perkins, this movie is very slapsticky, violent. It reminded me of, what's the movie you had me watch where it's from the killer's perspective?
In a Violent Nature?
In a Violent Nature. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Some of the kills in that, and it's something we talked about when we talked about that movie, was people talking about the innovativeness of the kills.
Mm-hmm.
Like at one point, the dude like shoves his hook like through a lady and then pulls her inside out.
Yeah.
Like
It's amazing.
gory shit.
Yeah.
This is very gory as well. But at one point, there's a montage of funny deaths.
Yes.
It's like a cartoon.
Yeah.
It's very good.
Funny. I was watching it, and I was thinking this could be like a Final Destination thing.
Yeah.
Monkey 2 could be the monkey shows up at another family. And
For
you
sure.
follow that
For
story.
sure.
And now you just have slapstick funny ways that people die.
So this is
I knew this movie was hilarious
so funny.
when the diver, the swimming pool lady, blew up.
Yes.
I was like, this is good stuff right here.
So it's based on a Stephen King short story. I listened to the short story today. It's from a collection of books called Skeleton Crew, and it's for free on Spotify. The the story itself. It's one of the longer ones of the group. It's like hour 13 minutes or something like that. And Matthew Broderick reads it. So I'm like, oh, hey, I like all of these things. Love Matthew Broderick. The story it's based on sucks.
Yeah.
It's so fucking weird. Like, and Stephen King just sitting there with his cocaine writing it. Like, I don't have any writing experience, so I'm not going to say he's a bad author. This did not grab me the way Osgood Perkins took the thing that there's a monkey that causes people to die.
Yeah.
Great. I'm going to make that so entertaining and so watchable.
Just make it the theming of death and the anxiety of death, especially when you're a child
Yeah.
and have to experience it. And how it affects you, it was really good.
Which is what the short story was. So in the short story, Theo James in this plays twin brothers. Their dad, played at the very beginning by Adam Scott. No idea he was in this.
Yeah,
fucking
that was great.
Fucking great. And their dad has a monkey. He tries to get rid of it. He can't. The kids find the monkey. They find out that the monkey, when it plays its little drum, causes someone to die.
Mm-hmm.
And then they think they get rid of it. One of the brothers, twin brothers, he becomes obsessed with the monkey because it kills its mom. And he's trying to like start a monkey death cult, essentially, to try to kill his brother with the monkey. He
worships the monkey.
Right.
Yeah.
None of that is in the short story.
Yeah.
In the short story, it's about a dude who finds a monkey, like his friend dies, and the monkey in the book is the classic monkey playing cymbals.
Yeah.
You know why Osgood Perkins couldn't use that?
It's a trademark?
Trademarked by
Disney,
because it was in Toy Story 3. And in Toy Story 3, they made this, it's like a security monkey that watches like the security cameras. It plays the thing. That was inspired by the Stephen King thing.
That's
but
amazing.
Stephen King didn't make that movie yet. So Disney made a cymbal-playing monkey, made toys of it, and trademarked it. So Osgood Perkins' monkey has to play the drums.
You can really tell they care about art.
Fucking Disney, man. Like, keep making Star Wars, yes, but
don't
God
do
damn
anything.
it, man.
Go away.
I actually kind of like the drum better.
Just disappear forever. I like the drum a lot more, too.
Because at one point, the monkey does a drum roll, and then like 50 people die. Yeah. It's so fucking good.
I like that he can spin his little drumsticks.
Yeah, it's fun.
So I know this story because of Mystery Science Theater 3000.
The reason you know every story.
Yes. It's on an episode where they watch a movie called Merlin's Shop of Mystical Wonders. In that, it was it was definitely a repackaged 70s film with a 90s veneer, where the story is the monkey escapes from Merlin's shop and ends up at a pawn shop where a father buys it for his son for his birthday. And the monkey starts killing that family, and the family members, wow, Merlin's out on the street going like, anybody see my monkey? Like, I lost a monkey.
Yeah.
And then to see this movie being advertised, I was like, they're doing Merlin's Shop of Mystical Wonders movie? That's crazy.
That's funny that's what... Only you make those connections. Like,
very few of us are around. That's true.
That's fine. Who else? What else did I like about Tatiana Maslany as the
Wonderful.
mother? She's so great.
Yeah, she is wonderful.
I hate that so many people on the internet shit on She-Hulk.
I'm
going
to say this. Fuck Disney. I want to blame Disney.
For She-Hulk?
Always. Yeah.
Why?
Protect her. That's why.
Oh, they didn't do a good job, the marketing team. I was going to say, no, but She-Hulk was good.
I'm sure She-Hulk is great.
Yeah,
I hear nothing but great stuff.
She hooks up with the Daredevil.
But when she gets shit on by fans...
Yeah.
It's Disney's fault.
They're too busy trademarking monkeys.
We need to start just really poking people in the eyes. People are getting too cavalier.
What do you mean, on the internet?
Yeah.
It was a mistake.
What do you mean, the internet?
Yeah, it was just a mistake.
We should have made a license for it, like driving a car.
I mean, in the sense that also I think when you reach a certain age, your privileges should be taken away. Much like driving a car. Yes, I agree on that thing.
Where I'm talking to normal people out in the world.
Uh-huh.
I remember I started a job. I hired a new guy when I was a manager, and I was talking to him, and we were working, and he goes, "So do you own any guns?" I'm like, "No." And he's like, "I own guns. I have a couple of guns." And he's like, "I don't want to shoot anybody, but I have to protect my family." This came out of nowhere.
So fucking weird.
It just came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't want to come over.
Yeah.
So I think about that stuff. And I'm like, that guy's on the internet.
Yeah. Talking about guns.
Talking to Tatiana Maslany and being like, hey, don't like the representation.
She's so good.
Yes, but she is good. She's great in this movie.
I
She's
never
great in
watched-
Comedy Bang Bang.
I never watched the show that she was on where she plays a bunch of different people.
Orphan Black.
Yeah,
I haven't seen it either.
yeah. Hear great things though.
I listened to her on Comedy Bang Bang. She's hilarious.
Yeah.
She, the reason she gets in a lot of trouble is she reveals a lot of secrets on Comedy Bang Bang by accident.
That's hilarious.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
That's good. But Theo James, who plays the twin brothers,
Yeah.
he's in the front running. Vegas odds have him at 6-4 for the next James Bond.
No.
I think he could pull it off.
No.
You don't think so?
No, it's not going to happen.
Why not?
Next James Bond's going to be black.
I don't know. I don't think so. Now that Amazon has it,
Now that Amazon has it, and they're like, we do no DEI.
they're gonna make a.
That's very true.
Yeah.
So you got to get somebody who's like a Rowan Atkinson type.
They just make the farce again.
So British. You gotta
Like,
go oh my gosh.
The original Casino Royale, that was a joke.
Was it?
Yeah, the original Casino Royale, it was like some weird thing with the Broccoli family that they got the rights to it, but it had to be made a certain way. They couldn't call him James Bond, so he was American. It was called Jimmy Bond. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
It's very dumb.
I have the Italian James Bond sex parody. Do you want to get a guess to the title?
Yes, give me a sec. Giuseppe Boner.
No.
Was I close?
Nope, not even close.
Giuseppe Boner is pretty good.
00 sex. That's it.
Is sex 7?
James Bond, spelled with an E at the end. 00 sex.
Is sex 7 in Italian?
I have no clue. I think sex is the same
Sex
thing.
is
that means
6
to
in
us.
German.
Yeah.
That's SECHS though.
No, SEX.
So it's just not even trying. First of all,
Yeah, not even trying.
Italian pornography producers. I'm available to write things because Giuseppe Boner is so much funnier for an Italian porno James Bond.
I'm reading
Italian porno.
about porn studies.
Yeah.
And it's written by the person that started the first college class about porn studies.
That's awesome.
And she said in her first class, she was like, I didn't expect a lot of the discourse to be about how bad the writing is in these movies. And she was like, and people were turning in papers for me that were like new scripts for new pornos, like showing that they could write
Great.
it. It's so far it's a wonderful read.
I think it's funny to think that you could be a writer. Like just in my head, the fact that you think you could write something is inherently a fun idea.
Yeah.
Like that anyone would have that idea. It's like I can make something creative, anything, but writing down something like it's something I've tried to do, and it's a weird idea. Most people don't have the idea I should write a movie.
Yeah.
To have that specific idea of I should write the script for a porno.
Yeah.
Is so much more specialized. It's so much funnier to me.
It's so funny to me.
If
It's
the-
one of my favorites because there's two ways that I think about it. It's one person who's being like, oh, we got to fill in the space with something. So
Yeah.
he's like, and then Deborah walks in and she was selling honey. And then they're like, they're good. Like,
Yeah.
shoot it. And then there's somebody who's like, you're telling me I have $80,000 and I can take all the time I want to write a movie. I'm going to write a movie about a future where all robots have sex with you, but they all do certain things for you. It's called
Interesting.
Sex World. It's going to be a part of a therapy session.
Is that a
nobody
real
understands.
thing, or is that
Yeah, it's one of my favorites.
it's so weird?
It's so good.
What are we talking about? The monkey.
The monkey.
But yeah.
Speaking of tangents,
So I loved it.
that's
I loved
great
it.
to hear.
I thought the murders were great.
yeah.
It was just so funny. It reminded me a lot of the film
Go ahead.
John Dies at the End, which was based on a David Wong novel.
I didn't think that movie was that great.
It wasn't great,
Okay.
but that's what I want to talk to you about. Speaking of that movie specifically, that book was great.
Yeah, here's that book is
That whole series. This book is full of spiders,
Mm-hmm.
and the third title that I'm forgetting about.
Mhm.
But the short story of this, not great.
Uh-huh.
This is so much better that I was racking my brains for things that the source material was so much worse than the movie.
Yeah.
Because 9 times out of 10 people say, oh, the book was better.
Mhm.
This comes up a lot now with The Last of Us because they're
Yeah.
changing some things from the second game, which I've
Uh-huh.
never played the second game all the way through.
Yeah.
In the series, we're past where I played to.
Yeah.
So I watch the show on Sundays, and then I go read the discourse on Reddit because I'm a masochist. And everyone's like, no, they changed this, and this is bullshit, and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, oh, no, I like this. Like, I stopped playing the game
Yeah.
because I wasn't having fun with the game.
Yeah.
I like this. And it's very rare that the source material is less appealing to me
Mhm.
than the movie version. I think Paycheck that we talked about, Those are both equally good for different reasons.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say the short story Paycheck sucked. I like the movie better, but I enjoyed that as well.
I would say I came out enjoying both of them.
Yeah,
Right.
for separate reasons. With video games and stuff like that, another example would be like Twisted Metal. Love the show, love the game for different reasons. This was one of the first things where I'm like, Osgood Perkins did a good thing with an idea and changed it completely and made it better. To the point where if it wasn't a monkey, this could have been some other toy.
Yeah.
And I didn't think it needed to be
the monkey.
Like they were far enough apart. Like the character names were the same, but it wasn't twins. It was an older brother, and the older brother wasn't there as much. And the weird Elijah Wood's in this. That's a great little cameo scene for no reason.
When he takes a drink from that gigantic ass water bottle.
Yes.
A guy at work has one of those. That sound is so funny.
Yeah.
You could just hear it plop around inside of that thing.
And I was going through the IMDb trivia. Well, we're thinking of sad things. So Osgood Perkins, people might know his dad was Anthony Perkins from Psycho. I didn't know his mom was Barry Berenson, who was a photographer and artist in her own right. So he says in an interview that he wanted to make this movie about death, which is about sort of one of the things about this is death comes for everybody, but it's random when it comes.
Yeah.
Because like the brothers are trying to kill each other at different points in the movie with the monkey.
Yeah.
Where like in one of the opening scenes, the younger brother has the chance. He's holding a bowling ball over his brother's head. And he's like, I want to kill him. But he doesn't. And so then he tries to kill him with the monkey, and other people end up getting hurt.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the whole thing. Is like you can't, expect your problems to be taken care of for you.
You're just hoping that they die.
Death is death is
and while
random.
you're sitting there hoping that you're losing people that you do love.
But when Osgood Perkins was talking about that, he said that both of his parents died in very public ways. And I was like, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So I did some research. His dad, this is alleged, but it's also pretty well documented. So Anthony Perkins, when he started being an actor, had like relationships with men. Like he was pretty out about it.
Yeah.
And then once he got famous in like Hollywood roles, they're like, hey, we got to knock that off. It's the fucking 60s. And no. So he went through conversion therapy and all that stuff.
Poor guy.
Then he ended up dying in the 90s from HIV.
Oh,
so guy. Shit life, kind of being forced by your job to be in the closet, allegedly, whatever. You take that as you will. I don't think conversion therapy works. I don't think there's any studies to prove that it does. I think it does more harm than good, and that's why it's illegal.
I know it doesn't work.
Yes, and it definitely does more harm than good.
Yeah.
That being said, and I was like, oh, that's a bummer. How did his mom die? His mom, Barry Berenson, died in a plane crash.
Oh.
On September 11th, 2001.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
She was on one of those.
North Tower.
Wow.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Oh, man.
When you have that lens about it, of where he's saying in an interview, death comes for everyone and you can't predict how or why it's going to happen, fucking yeah.
Yeah, right?
If anyone has the right to say it, it's this guy who, like, there's some famous people, like Pete Davidson's dad died, as a firefighter in September 11th. That's, there you can kind of rationalize that as it's part of your job.
Yeah.
There's a good chance if you're a professional firefighter, you're going to die in the line of duty.
Yeah.
Being on the fucking plane.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. That's going to give you a weird relationship with the concept of death.
Yeah.
Which I think he made very fun movie about it.
Yeah.
Which you can do 23 years later.
Yeah.
But I think it's just a great cathartic thing. He seemed like he was kind of cathartic about it. He's like, I'm going to make this super violent movie about how random death is.
Yeah. It's macabre.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
It's definitely a black comedy for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You come out being like, it doesn't, it revels in death. It lets you know that, death comes for us all.
Here's why I liked,
like you said, over and over again.
The very end of this movie was so much better than the very end of the book.
Yeah.
That it was shocking to me. So the very end of this movie, they never go into like, what I kind of like about it is they never tell you like why it works. Mm-hmm. Like you just say, no. When you wind up this monkey, someone's going to die.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. They don't have to tell you. It's not like some old curse or the monkey was created on a burial ground of some other bullshit or it doesn't have a demon inside of it. Mm-hmm. It's a monkey. It can teleport. That's just how this world is. Mm-hmm. And then at the end, Theo James and his son were driving away and like, that's my phone, I think.
Whoa.
Yeah. Analog, baby.
I wonder if that's picking up on the podcast.
I don't know. We'll find out. But they're riding away, and there's like a bunch of death all around them from the monkey doing a drum roll, and like there's a pale rider on a horse that is death, and they have that quote from the Bible, a bunch of times previously in the movie, and you actually see it in the short story. He goes out into the middle of a lake with his son and chucks the monkey into a bag into the bottom of the lake.
Yeah.
And then there's a news story that says a bunch of fish died. And I'm like, that's so much fucking worse than having this surreal thing where a pale rider comes through.
It's negligible that the monkey's doing any of it, is what I like.
Yeah.
It could just be coincidence.
Because that's just as random.
Yeah, it's because it's just random.
Yeah. As the monkey, when it hits its drum, a friggin' harpoon's going to go off and impale this guy. If there's a hilarious beat and then the harpoon gun retracts and the guy's entrails just go flying across a pawn shop. It's so funny. There's a dude that gets
But what I also like is when their mom dies, right? You see it for the first time.
That one's fucking rough.
It's very bloody, and the icing bag that she has explodes.
Yeah.
Toward the end, you see that it wasn't Hal, the good twin, that saw the mom died. It was Bill. What was his name? Will?
Will.
Yeah, it was Will that saw his mom die.
Yeah.
And he saw something completely different where she just turned around and she said, "Hey, honey, looks like I got to go." And it's like we think about death very differently.
Yeah.
He lost her in a very
different way.
Both of them lost it in a very shocking way, where one of them was scared by it and the other one was confused and hurt by it.
And in some weird way motivated?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they both, he blamed his brother for the death of his mom. I think the story behind it's great, and just knowing more about Osgood Perkins' personal background. Yeah.
I'm like, to be able to come out of the other side of that shit, like, to say nothing of the fact that you don't know the life your dad was living, and he might have had a pretty terrible, secretive life. Mm-hmm. Not terrible like what he was doing, but like the fact that he had to be secretive about it. And then your mom dying in one of the most tragic events in American history.
Yeah.
And then to be able to, like, at some point rationalize and be like, I'm going to make it's going to be a dumb, funny, violent movie that actually is a good, like, just kind of weird meditation on the concept of death.
Yeah.
In a great way that has a toy fucking monkey in it.
I don't know. My family's pretty macabre.
Right.
And I think that's, we've
my family is not.
Yeah. We've dealt with death a lot, and you come out laughing a lot.
Yeah, that's a very common reaction. I'm just saying to be able to do it
I'm just saying, like, I see that side of it,
right.
too. You know what I mean? I get what, I'm not to say that I understand his pain,
right.
But I also, when I dealt with death and when my family dealt with it, we're laughing. A lot.
You get the reaction, not the input.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can understand the output. Mm-hmm. You don't necessarily. Yeah, I understand that too.
Cool.
My family laughs about things that are not death and sad like that, but we make inappropriate jokes.
Right.
Constantly.
But this stuff, like when my grandma was on her deathbed, we're
cracking jokes
about,
of course,
how great her hair smells and stuff.
I will say this. I watched this downstairs in the studio. There's one death in this that freaked me out. Yeah. Can you guess which one it is?
Is it the aunts?
Yes. Oh, okay. So the aunts walking up rickety basement stairs,
That's
which
my favorite,
are very similar to my rickety basement stairs, falls through one of them into a box of fishing lures, goes upstairs, pulls the fishing lures out, and you're like, okay, she did. Like, the beats of it are perfectly, because like, all right, she's gonna do this, she's gonna die like that. It's like, no, she didn't die. She pulls all the fishing lures out, swipes her face down with alcohol, and you're like, oh, she's gonna be okay. And then she sniffs down, she's trying to put a kettle on, smells gas, and then the alcohol that she just had on her face from disinfectant catches on fire. You're like, oh, this is how she's going to die. No, her flaming Ghost Rider skull runs out of the house full force into the mailbox and gets impaled.
She steps into a rose vase that's on her steps.
Oh, yeah, someone delivered flowers, and she peg legs her way down the stairs. Like it's a Rube Goldberg machine for a death where I was, by the time she finally died, it was so satisfying. You're like, got her. The monkey got her. But the falling through the stairs into the fish hooks, I've been fish hooked
felt like a lead brick, man.
I've had like a fish hook. Like, on the roof of my mouth before.
Woo.
It was a poorly timed yawn on a fishing trip.
Oh.
Like just walking behind and then
Caught a big
sucks. And then like just getting like hooks and everything. Like I don't mind needles, but anything with like every now and again like
Punctures.
I remember this. You remember HBO's Real Sex? Of course you do. Who am I fucking talking to? There was something of that when I was definitely watching it too young, but there was something with the people that like do the suspension. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Where like the hooks
Big,
through the body.
hooks.
Weird goth people that do that. When I saw that, I was just like, no to that forever. And the fact that people do it disturbs me so much. I hate hooks through things.
Yeah.
And then I had to check what was underneath my stairs.
Yeah.
And I'm like, God, if I go through, there better not be anything sharp down there. It's just paper towels from Costco, so I'm good. Like,
You're good.
If anything, I'll probably be fine. But it was just good. Yeah, I can't recommend The Monkey enough. One of my favorite movies I've watched. That and Companion.
Hell yeah, dude.
Back to back. I was just like, God
Really
damn
happy to hear
it. Some
that.
great violent movies.
I love the line that Osgood Perkins, he's in the movie as
the uncle. Yeah.
And he's going to take care of the kids now after their mom died.
Yeah.
And he's like, I just want you to know we're going to try our best for you. It's just probably not going to be that good.
Also, we're swingers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just very good. Fantastic movie.
Yeah,
Can't recommend it enough.
Happy to hear it, man.
The Monkey is on streaming, and even if we've spoiled some things, it's just fucking fun.
you just
This
gotta
is
watch
just
it.
a. If you have some people that like violent, stupid, funny things, this
Yep.
is a good movie to sit around and
Watch
watch
this with a party.
with a group. Yeah. If this was ever, this could be something that I could see, like, 10-year anniversary back in theaters. I'm gonna go fucking see it in theaters.
Yeah. Right
Like
behind you.
100%.
Mhm.
So yeah, thank you everybody to listening for the show. Like and subscribe. We forgot to do that up top because of the tangent.
I was thinking about it sometimes during the tangent.
just fucking like just
go,
go
speaking of tangent.
like and subscribe. Click the notification bell. Comment is a big
You
thing.
could shove them in there. There you go.
Yeah,
Just
comment.
edit these in there. Comment.
I'm not going to edit. The last YouTube video, I got a text from somebody that said, there's 10 minutes of just dead space at the end of the YouTube video, and I was just like, huh. Yeah.
That's so good.
It is.
You got a text from somebody
Yeah.
he was watching it like he was going to listen to a secret
Yeah.
track from a CD.
Like it's a punk CD from the 90s, and there's a hidden track at the end of it. Nope, just I typed the wrong thing when you're editing it because you have to like say how long the picture lasts because it's a static thing. I just typed the wrong thing, and there was 10 extra minutes at the end. Whatever. I'll try not to do it this week. But thank you for listening. Thank you to our buddies, Brother Bill, for letting us use the music for the theme song. Check them out at brotherbill.bandcamp.com. Jake,
Yes, sir.
what are we going to do next week?
You're going back, sir.
How
Going
far back?
to something that we've already done before.
Way back.
Drop Out. You're going back to Drop Out.
Woohoo!
You're doing a Game Changer. You're doing their most recent one, which is crowd work.
Oh, I saw some clips from that.
Crowd
I have not watched that one yet.
This show is quickly becoming like one of the best things I've seen
Can
in
we
comedy.
double up, not on a recommendation, but I have you watch something so we can talk about that as well? That's
We'll
in the
find
same
out
vein.
If it's Andor.
No, it's not
I
Andor.
don't think so.
It's Jason Mantzoukas on Taskmaster.
Oh, I've been watching that.
Oh, you have? Okay,
Oh,
so we'll
absolutely.
talk about both of those. We'll
All
talk
right.
about Dropout and we'll talk about
It's
Zookas.
a new episode today because
Yeah.
it's Thursday.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
God, it's so fucking good.
I love Zook so damn much.
He's so fucking funny. All right, so yeah, I'll watch some more Game Changer on Dropout, and anyone else can watch that on their Instagram reels when it pops up, because it pops up in mine all the time. Jake, I have a book for you to read.
Woo!
I already gave it to you.
Yes, sir. It's right there.
Next to the accountant
Yep, next to the account.
popcorn bucket.
Popcorn bucket.
Oh, speaking of popcorn buckets, I wanted to go see Friendship this week.
Yeah.
Not playing at any Regal theater.
Well, I guess it's a limited release.
I guess, does A24 have a deal with Sony? Because it's playing at Alamo Drafthouse, which is the closest to us, up in fucking Fairfax.
Okay.
Bummer.
Yeah, definitely a bummer.
And it's one of those things I want to see it, but also I'm like, it's probably going to be on streaming in like 3 weeks. So whenever Friendship comes out, we'll watch that for the show.
Oh, I'm absolutely watching it.
As soon as possible. I did get, when I was like, oh, it's a bummer, there are links to it where you can watch it, but it's like shaky cam, and I'm like, no, if one person deserves my money, it's Tim Robinson.
Yeah.
Like, I'll buy that when it comes out
If
on
they're-
streaming.
They gave him a movie.
Yeah.
Let's see what he can do with
I would
that.
love to go support it in theaters, but it's not fucking playing anywhere near me.
I'll probably go to theater.
They're making all the room for Mission Impossible, where Tom Cruise is a psychopath.
Final Reckoning. I
Yeah.
can't remember. Is that what it's called?
Yep.
Guess how many Mission Impossibles I've seen?
How many are there?
Not as many as I've seen.
8? I'm going to say there are 8. There's 3 for sure. And then there's 4, which is when they stopped being numbered.
Yeah.
I think 3 had Limp Bizkit.
I
Or
don't
was
think
that
so.
2?
I think that's 2.
2 had Limp Bizkit?
You know why I know that?
Because that was the Australian one?
Because I've only seen 2.
You've only seen you haven't even seen first Mission Impossible?
I've seen Mission Impossible, and I've seen Mission Impossible 2.
You've seen the first 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, 3 has PSH in it, and he's pretty fucking good.
That's what I hear.
Yeah. And then Mission Impossible is one of those things like Fast and the Furious. You can put a gun to my head and tell me that you're going to kill me if you can't tell me specifically which ones I've seen and which ones I haven't seen. I would not be able to tell you.
James Bond. I've seen.
Well, there's at least 25 of those.
Yeah.
I can't tell you with Fast and the Furious which ones I've seen.
I
know I've seen some of them.
1. I don't even know which one it was, but it had Ronda Rousey in it.
5. Sure. But anyway, the book for you by new graphic novel. It's out now. It's a first volume of a new Image comic series called The Power Fantasy by author Kieran Gillen. So it's an ongoing series, but they finally released the trade paperback of the first 5 issues.
Mm-hmm.
It's a whole new thing. It's a whole new like twist on like superhero genre. I just think it's very unique. It's very well written, especially with the glut of superhero things that we're getting over the next couple months with Superman and Fantastic Four.
Superman's July.
So it's Fantastic Four, and then Peacemaker shortly thereafter. And bless you.
Thank you.
So we're just getting a lot of that stuff, and I love superheroes. Obviously, I love the superheroes that we grew up with, but I also love fresh takes on superheroes. I think that's why I like Invincible so much.
Yeah,
because
Invincible's great.
Yeah. So yeah,
Another
the Power
good Zeus
Fantasy.
project.
Yeah. The Power Fantasy. Jake's going to read it. We're going to talk about it. We're also going to talk about Dropout and Taskmaster.
Yeah.
Taskmaster was in Thunderbolts, superhero,
Oh, good point.
for a little bit. Then she got killed. Spoilers. No one saw that fucking
She
movie.
Killed in Black Widow.
No, she was back.
Okay.
She came back. All right. So thank you, everybody. Jake, thanks for having me over. Love you, buddy.
Love you, bud.
Bye.